All right, Jules, let's talk about what they call the sack race here in England, which I find slightly ghoulish because obviously in Italy, we sack people all the time.
Yeah.
But
Same for us.
we don't have the same betting culture, and we don't have this very clever play on where, it's called a sack race because they get sacked. But sack race is also what you did as a little boy, right? When you did school sports day.
Sports days,
exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, very clever. But in England, they love this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's basically, as I said, this is a little ghoulish. Who's going to lose their job next? Slaven Bilic has already lost his job, replaced by Big Sam, as we know. I think the interesting thing is, and I'll get to who the bookies have as the favorites. I look at this, and I think this might actually be a year where it's possible that nobody else gets sacked this season. I think it's a combination of the pandemic, different factors. Do you get that sense?
Completely.
Former colleague Rory Smith wrote about this in the New York Times as well. Good piece about how clubs are saying, is it really worth my while sacking?
Yeah, and the money. Let's not forget that it cost a lot of money to just not sack one manager, but also his whole coaching staff with him. Yeah. And if they have only a few weeks left on their contract, it's different. But if they have 2 years, 3 years left on their contract, you're suddenly looking at 5, 10, 15, 20 million, depending on how much they earn.
And if you bring in somebody else who, if you sack somebody, it's because the team's doing bad. They're bringing somebody else. That guy's also going to say, okay, well, I'll come, but can we invest some money to bring in players I like? So it gets even more expensive that way.
And you know what? I do think that the Ralph Hasenhüttl sort of previous last year when he was not doing great, but Southampton stuck with him, and rightly so, and now they're doing so much better. I think he's showing to other clubs like, do you know what? Let's see, because you can always find a way of riding a bad run of results. You can always find a way of bouncing back. Sometimes not.
No.
But you can also. So look at Mikel Arteta.
Mikel Arteta, funny enough, he's the favorite to be sacked. He's the only one who's odds on to be sacked this season. I find that remarkable. I think unless Arsenal slip into the relegation zone, and by the way, I know on paper they look close to the relegation zone, but you also have two very bad teams at the bottom. So you're really banking on Fulham or Brighton or somebody like that to pass Arsenal on the table, which feels like a stretch, no?
Yeah, and that's part of the project. It's a long-term project. That's what the Kroenke wanted. That's what people at the club who are deciders wanted as well. He's young. He's going to make mistakes. I think the players also have their part of responsibility. For me, he's safe. He's one of the safest, in the current in the current Premier League teams as managers.
I won't quite go that far, but
no, he's safe.
I think his job is safe for the season. I said unless they get relegated or something like that.
Yeah. Chris Wilder, 1 point.
I think it's 2 points now. Actually, he's doubling his total now. I don't think Wilder's going to go again for a simple reason. First of all, Wilder's got a really close-knit relationship with the club.
Yeah. That's his club, right? He was a fan since he was a kid.
I believe the club thinks that if they go down, Wilder can take them back up.
Completely.
And I also think, again, this is a club that spent a lot of money, for the dimension of Sheffield United. You go down and you bring somebody else in that situation, 2 points you go, hey, why am I here? Yeah. Why would I want to come here?
Yeah. The one I'm not sure is Scott Parker. Simply because
he's not a club legend, and they're getting better results of late.
No, they're playing better, but still, I think there's a call, a bit like what West Brom did with Bilic, in the sense that they don't want to do the yo-yo again. Ideally, they would want to stay up, and if there's a point where they see that maybe you need a change to try to.
And he's had a shot of being relegated, coming back up. So maybe
I hope he stays.
There.
I hope he stays. But
Sam Allardyce, funnily enough, if we're not just sacked, there's also people leaving. I could see a scenario where Allardyce comes in, can't fix it, and then it gets to March. He's like, why am I here? Why do I want to be here? Let me go, bring back Darren Moore or something like that, right?
Maybe.
We've seen situations like that.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
I mean, again, how far would they need to fall, right? They're out of the Champions League, so that's already the mark against it. In the table, if they win their game in hand, they're only 2 points behind Liverpool. But again,
they're too good to fall, right?
He's been criticized. But even then, if he falls to mid-season, what is the point of sacking him? Let's say he falls to mid-table, right?
Yeah.
What's the point of sacking him?
I agree.
You do that after the season, maybe.
Graham Potter, again, they gave him a 6-year deal last year. They're not going to sack him.
He's the king of XG and analytics. There's no way.
Steve
Bruce is the one.
Steve Bruce is an interesting one.
Because I just don't think he's very good. But then he doesn't have very good players around him.
The way I
local
can
guy
see this happen, though,
is
they
if the
sell
club
the
gets
club.
sold.
Yeah, they sell the club,
Yeah.
and someone new comes in, and then they want to change of managers, which is not really sacking, as in sacking for bad results, but still they will get rid of him.
I think these are all the likeliest. If it includes people stepping away, obviously, if the bottom falls out at West Ham, maybe David Moyes, maybe Roy Hodgson. These are like 25, 28 to 1. You know what?
Honestly, no managers to leave anymore now. So Bilic be the only one sacked the whole season.
80 to 1?
Yeah.
Tell you what.
You should put something there for your
That
Christmas.
is the bet I want to make. No manager to leave the rest of the season. 80 to 1. Those are tremendous
That's
odds.
good.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.